it's time to get some SportSense. You're gonna get some SportSense. You better get ready for SportSense. SportSense.
Welcome back to SportSense, everyone. This is the show where we break down sports news for sports noobs. I'm Cooper Epps, here to learn about sports and sports culture from my dad, James Epps. Let's get into it. Well, hello, everyone. This is a beautiful day in sunny United States of America. We're back on the SportSense podcast. We just finished a big sporting event this weekend known as the Masters. So we're going to talk in our golf voices today. Well, we'll see if Dad can do it. He has a hard time keeping his voice now.
You are. You sound good.
So, but yeah, hey, Dad.
Hey, buddy.
Actually, the reason I need to talk in a golf voice is because our baby is sleeping right through the wall that touches my office right here. His naps have been a little precarious lately, so we're going to be careful, try not to wake him up.
Well, I'm not going to wake up unless you have me on speaker. I will not wake up your son 2,300 miles away, so I'll be safe. But no,
it
thanks.
Could be close.
Yeah, you try to talk softly though, so be careful.
How are you otherwise though? Anything else fun and sporty going on in your life over there?
Well, yeah, we have our opening game this Wednesday for our 10 and under baseball season. So I coach two of my grandsons, two of your nephews. Yeah. With their fathers. So we've been practicing for weeks. So now that's big. That's big. Opening game Wednesday night.
Nice.
And your other nephew, Brett, is opening game because I know he listens to this but doesn't like us. Brett's opening game is tomorrow night. So he's in coach pitch and he can really crank a ball when he hits it. But anyway, so I'm excited for Brett. Oh, and your other nephews and Carrie have already started baseball. So Caleb's sons have had some success already.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw a video of Sealy getting a double play to end a game as the pitcher, impressive. Right? So that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, very, very exciting.
So that was really cool. So well done, Sealy, and good luck to all the boys as you start your baseball seasons.
We're ready.
And good luck to you, Coach.
Yeah, good luck to the coaches. You never know what kind of trouble we could stir up. But
yeah, there's a little bit of you almost got in a fight last year, right? Was that last season?
I would not have gotten. This guy was wanting to go behind the dugout, and I didn't even do a thing other than have my guys stealing home. But but we, all about no contention. So I worked my way out of that.
Be a peacemaker.
I'm trying. Right. Some people don't want peace, though. But gotta do my part.
Well, fighting is fun, and hey, that actually goes. Let me tell you a little sporty thing I had this last week. Which was the Carolina Hurricanes came out to Utah. And so Macy and I went to the game and it supported them. We were, one of like 5 away fans there that game. There were not many of us there. So we didn't cheer very loud because last time we tried that, we got some comments last season. And so anyways, it's a young fan base here, but a passionate one, the Utah fans. So it's been fun to see them grow. And so, a couple of things I want to mention is Stanley Cup playoffs are just about to start. Yep. So you're going to hear talk of teams clinching their position or securing their position in the playoffs or still rushing, or I forget what they call it, like basically fighting to get into the playoffs. They're right on the verge. Yep. And Utah, for their second season ever as a new franchise, is they clinched their spot. They're going to be in the playoffs. Wow. So that's pretty exciting.
I did see their win-loss record and tie record. They've had a good record, good season this year.
But
you got to
Carolina
walk away.
Crushed them. Yeah, nice.
There you go. So real quick on the Canes, that was my note for you. I was going to slide in, but you already put in some. So the Canes, if they win, I forgot who they're even playing tonight or tomorrow night. All they have to do is win or tie and even lose in the tie. And they clinched the number 1 seed in the Eastern Division. So that means the playoffs would be in Raleigh at home all the way through until he went to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Whoa.
So that's a big deal because they play really well at home. So,
yeah. Great.
So they're 4 points ahead of the nearest. So that's all they've got to do. Win or tie and lose in overtime, or tie or win. It doesn't matter, but tie. Yeah. Win or tie.
At least
and they've clinched the number 1 seed in all of Eastern
That's
Eastern
so
Division,
cool.
Eastern Conference. Yep, pretty cool. All right,
Okay.
that's our hockey.
That's our hockey. Yeah, we'll come back to hockey because we do want to
like
do.
Mom says, they play hockey a long time, don't they? I said, oh yeah, it goes forever. It seems
Yeah,
like.
exactly. So we will, once the Stanley Cup playoffs are beginning, we'll come back and do at least one, if not a few, dedicated hockey episodes. Meanwhile, we had the Masters, so let's talk golf. You know, there's a few golf majors as you've taught me, Dad, every year, 4 to be exact.
Yeah.
The Masters is the first one in order as the calendar goes on. But as we established last week, it's also the most prestigious. Like you said, if you were to win a major, you want to win the Masters. That's the one that's the coolest to win.
Right, because we said before, it's always at the same course, Augusta. It's not a national championship. It's not any European champion or British Open or US or the original Open championship. It's not the USGA's championship. It's just one, which if you look at the history, they took a Eastern Georgia course that really had not much. And 90 years ago, it was really 92 years ago, this was the 90th playing of the Masters. But
Wow.
2 years during World War II, they did not play 2 of the years. So it's the 90th. But 92 years ago, they started it's truly just a club invitational. That's all it started out. Let's have a tournament, invite those members of the club or those that want best golfers they could find that they could lure there because it was so brand new. So it's pretty amazing and interesting that they could build such a behemoth in terms of marketing, prestige, brand. I mean, over 90 years, it's just built bit by bit by bit. And I think every player dreams that grows up playing golf that can actually reach the reach the professional level at that level wants to win the Masters. So they had so it happened this weekend, and there's lots of fun things to talk about.
Well, take it away.
Yeah, let's roll. And then, wave your hands, slow me down. By the way, so a little note for anyone that wants to go back and replay and not have spent 4 days, which I didn't watching, but I was definitely snuck some on my computer, I'm working. I could put it in my upper right-hand corner. I could watch some Thursday when I was in the office. And then I kept peeking on my phone. But we did watch quite a few holes yesterday.
Watching golf while you're at work.
Oh, man, absolutely. If I could do that, I can watch, if I watch golf this time of year on my computer and I'm at work, I feel that I've made it, man. All that self-employment and risk and pain pays off. But I heard guys, and this guy made a great point. He's an announcer nationally, but he was talking about masters.com or the Masters app. He says it's the greatest sports app ever that exists. He goes, He said, if only MLB and the NFL and even the NHL would take note and learn. The reason it is, okay. Well, and if you go online to masters.com, number one, it's free. Number two, you can literally dial in any player. Now think about this about ball games and things. What I'm saying is those other leagues are so money grubbing hungry that they wear you out, right? You can't see a lot of games. I can't see games that are blacked out. You can't go. You have to work like crazy nowadays or pay fees. It's ridiculous what you have to do to catch a lot of football games and baseball games and basketball games. Well, this one, you can literally dial in, pick your golfer, and you can watch him play every hole of the whole 4 days.
Oh, okay.
It'll catch his group and you stay with that group. Wow. You can watch, like right now, Rory's final round. You go click on the link and you'll watch every shot he made for his whole final round.
Okay. So
I mean, it's just crazy. And then the numbers and the breakdown is fascinating.
Basically, you have control of what who and what you want to watch.
Yeah, you watch it live. You can watch it replayed. You can watch it edited, abbreviated. You can do anything you want on that, and then you can go see all the fun statistics and see the leaderboard and what percentage are they, where they rank in the driving accuracy this week. I mean, if you're a golf nut, it's just heaven. But the point is, again, it's so easily accessible. It's exceptional quality, and there's no messing with it. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to do anything. It's just available. Anyway, that's my little promotion for that.
There have to be some ads, right?
Yeah,
there
there's some ads
commercials?
that do pop up, but they're not bad. They're usually
Okay.
Mercedes or somebody that paid outrageous amounts of money just to get a little snippet in. All right, here we
Sure.
go.
Interesting.
2026 90th Masters. The
Oof.
90th. So we know who won last year, right? It was so crazy. It helped them
last
complete.
year we talked about Rory McIlroy.
That's
the
right, from
guy
Northern
who was-
Ireland. Mm-hmm.
He was trying to get his first Grand Slam last year, right?
Complete
that was it?
complete the Grand Slam, winning all
Yeah.
4 majors in his career. And it had taken, that was his 16th attempt last year, 16th or 17th. So,
Wow.
well, not attempt. I'm sorry. It was his 11th attempt. He'd already won 3 majors up to that point 11 years ago. So it had been brutal for him every year going back.
Wow.
So he won that. He had to go into sudden death playoff, right? Afterwards against Justin Rose. So remember that, because we're going to talk
I
about
forgot
Justin
about that,
again.
Yeah.
Yep. Crazy. Well, this year here he did it again. But
Back
let
to
me
back.
tell you, yeah. So there's only been, he's the 4th golfer ever to go back to back. And they are, oldest one was Jack Nicklaus, which we all know about, 65 and 66. The next was, you won't know him, but he's an
I
English
wouldn't have
golfer.
known that, but yeah.
Nick Faldo. Nick Faldo is, he won 6 majors, in which now Roy has won 6 majors. So for a European player, these are the top 2 European players that's won majors in the U.S.
Okay.
and Great Britain. So Nick Faldo in 89 and 90. Tiger Woods during his blistering hot 2001, 2002. Now Tiger has, it is a side note here. He does have, no one's ever won all 4 majors in the calendar year. However, they call it the Tiger Slam. He did win 4 in a row, but it was
Okay,
offset by a year,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
By a calendar year. So
okay, cool.
in reality, in his peak, he did what nobody else did. And that's when
Wow.
all 4 majors in a row. Can you imagine? I mean, that just,
No.
the
That's
dominance
wild.
still blows my mind. So Rory is the 4th. Now, what's cool next year, we're going to talk about immediately. They're going to talk and hype. Can he do what no other golfer has ever done? And that's win 3 in a row. So
Wow.
that's the pressure he'll feel next year, to win
So
3
that's,
Masters in a row.
You mean, I see 3 Masters in a row.
3
I thought you
Masters
were
in
going
a
to say
row.
the next 3 tournaments in a row, which would be, or next 3 majors in a row, which would make him the first ever to get 4 in a calendar year.
Of course, yeah. If he does that, that's
crazy too.
mind blowing. But next
Okay.
year, I'm just saying for the Masters, that's going to be the big talk.
Yeah. Can he be a dynasty, basically?
All by himself. Yep.
Blown dynasty. Yeah.
Even do
Cool.
something Tiger Woods never did.
Wow.
But I don't know why Willie's barking, but Willie's barking. So let's quickly go over the crazy path that it took this year. There's some records set. There's some things that are just crazy that happened through the 4 days, right? Now, by the way, the Masters, you're talking about the exclusivity of it. That's a word too we can add to this. They only invited 91 players. Now, most times, the fields are usually 140 to 150 players. But there's only certain ways you can qualify to play in the Masters. And there was only 91 players. Now they had it, and after 2 days, you remember they give a cut. All tournaments give, there's a cut, basically, except for the FedEx Championship. But I want to talk about that. But anyway, 91. So I think they ended up with, after the cut, there was 51 or 52 players left after Thursday and Friday's rounds were complete. So crazy. The first record set by Roy was after the first 2 rounds, he held a 6-shot lead at the end of Friday. That's the largest lead ever held after 2 rounds.
No way. Okay.
So that's a record. He's in the record books for that.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. Now, interesting enough, he blew that lead so fast on Saturday and really scratched and clawed. And here's something to make some sense of why when I say it was a crazy path, the last 2 days particularly, but all 4 days, he struggled. The 4th day, he did the best. The first 3 days, he really struggled hitting off the tee with his driver. So his driver was so errant. So listen. So in the end when the tournament ended, out of the 51 players that were playing, he was 52 players. He was number 31 ranked. That's how bad his driving was. So you think, how could someone like that win a tournament? In fact, listen to this. Round 1, he only hit, and you play golf some, you can appreciate this. Round 1, he only hit 36% of the fairways. Now, a ball could trickle out of what they call the short grass, right? The fairway, and barely be in the rough, right? That still doesn't count as an accurate. But I had to say, Rory's, that he had very few like that. I mean, when he went in the trees, the pine straw, he was everywhere. So second day, he was 57%. That's better. The third day, 57%. Fourth day, he was 71%. So last day, he got better in terms of hitting the fairway and staying in the fairway. But that's crazy.
Are you playing the same course over and over again for all 4 days? Like
yes,
every day?
Yes.
It's just a repeat.
But what makes same course. It's all Augusta.
So you might get better just from getting familiar with the course, right?
Yes, but what they do is they change the pin placements on the greens, and that changes the whole course. That changes everything. Not the driver, but you know what else changes? The wind. The wind is crazy. Sure. It can whip up, southeastern U.S. storms. They didn't even rain this week. That was the other crazy thing. No rain. And it was great weather. It got a little hot the last 2 days. But the wind started whipping up on the last day, which really altered a lot of guys' games.
Interesting.
So interested. I'm sorry. I guess there was 56 players. But anyway, so he's ranked 31. So that's how poor his driving was. But here's an interesting thing. He ranked number 1 in distance.
Okay, so he was just crushing him.
He crushed it. It's like he didn't care where it landed. His average. Now listen to this. This is his average. 34-yard drive.
Oh my!
That's his average. Now you do know they removed the par 3s, right? That doesn't count because you're not driving. It's not a driving hole, right? They removed par 3s. 334, and I think that the closest one to him was somebody hit that average 324. So he was 10 yards above. The average field of the whole group was only like 304 or 305, the whole group, all 56 competitors. And he was 30 yards more than the average.
Do you think he was doing that on purpose? Like, was that his strategy?
That's one of his strengths, yes. Because when he did that, he did take out of play some of these traps. They're called fairway bunkers. That some guys would get in. Yeah. Sand traps, you call them around the green, but they call them fairway bunkers, out in the fairway when they're in the fairway, right? So way before the green. But yes, they're sand traps, but they're fairway bunkers is what you call them. Anyway, he does take out by crushing it so hard. And quite often he'd be over near the other fairway on the other side, the hole near him. But the reason he won this tournament, because he's crazy exceptional on his recovery shot. Like his next shot, he would bend it around a tree. He'd hit it low and scoot it up. He'd shoot it way high over behind a tree. Now, but like you said, he basically spent the 3 weeks prior to this time playing no competitive golf, and pretty much all he did was play Augusta about every day just to play it. He knows it so well already. But really, he wanted to play it. So he basically said, I didn't care where my ball landed. I've been there before, and I know where I need to go. So
crazy.
He always knew where to hit it. Like if he's in trouble, he knew where to bail out to which side of the green, how to avoid rolling into the lakes and the creeks and the ponds. And so crazy. Number 1 in distance. But number 31 in accuracy. So bombing it can pay off, apparently. So I thought that was kind of interesting information. Now,
and you've kind of always taught me the short game is really the most important part of golf.
Yeah. They say in his case, you used to say drive for show and putt for dough, right? I mean, that's the old, and it's still true because his short game was unbelievable. And they call it mostly a lot of his recovery. It was that second shot. That second shot. Now, a lot of these he bombed those par 5s. He was easy, even in the woods. He was getting on the green or near the green in 2, right? Giving them a chance for an eagle or what have you. So 2 fascinating part of his game. He definitely played more freely. Now, here's something you might not know about him. You've heard of Phil Mickelson, right? Phil Mickelson.
Yeah.
He played
about him, but yeah.
Well, he played his talent level. He's called him lefty because he played left hand, but he was amazing, and he definitely won 1 or 2 Masters, but he could have won more. I think he had like 6 runner-ups or something. That's because he was crazy. Wow. He would never play conservative. He would just bomb it, fire it. He never backed off. He never did. And Rory's a lot like that. And I'll start with the end in mind, right? I'll say how the last hole, he's up by 2 strokes on Sunday afternoon. All he has to do is poke it down the middle, It's a par 4. Poke it down the middle. Use a 3-wood or a 5-wood or something. Get it down the middle. Get it anywhere around the green. Putt, chip,
play it
tap in
safe.
for par. Right.
Yeah.
And then for some reason he's an inch or two short. Tap in for bogey. He's got it. Completely stress free. What do you think he did?
He bombed it again.
He pulled his driver out. And just because last year he hit the perfect drive to help him win that tournament, this year he hit it so far right that he was snuggled up to the 10th fairway.
Oh my
through
gosh.
the trees in the 10th fairway. I mean, have you watched it lately? They do that tracking, the little yellow line it tracks. So the tracking, when it sees it go flying out there and then take a hard, big loopy right deep into the woods, pine straw everywhere. And that was a par 4. So par 5, you can get away with a little bit more, right? You can punch it out, punch it low. You've got 5 strokes, right?
Yeah.
But par 4, man, if you're stuck right behind a tree, the best you can do is a bogey, best. Well, he had an angle, he had a shot, and he fired it, and it didn't get on the green, but he was around the green. And he chipped, and then he putted, and then he had about a 2-inch tap in for bogey, and he won by 1 stroke. But who in his right mind takes out a driver and bombs it 340 yards into the woods?
Right.
He didn't have to do that. But so what I was trying to tell you, that's his mentality. He can't, just like Phil Mickelson. He can't help himself. He did it.
Yeah.
And like he said, in his quote was, they said, well, what did your caddy say? Or what did you say to your caddy? He said, well, there's not much to say other than let's hope we're not behind a tree.
Right. Man.
He said that's all he could say. So I thought that was fun and interesting.
I think that should make us, what you're saying about this guy who just won the Masters for the second time in a row, back to back, it should make us all feel better when we go out and have a terrible day on the course. The fact that he can, especially with drivers, because obviously we love to hit the ball really hard, smack it with that driver. It's just a great feeling when it sails straight and true towards the green, So it's nice to hear that the best of the best in the world still hits behind a tree. It's
there's so
comforting.
many. If you watch enough of these, if you watch enough or go to a tournament, you'll see they're the greatest in the world. I can't believe what they can do with the ball. It's like magic. But sometimes they chunk it. Sometimes they top it. They had, who was it? They call him the mad scientist. Yeah, he creates his own glove.
Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah. Last night, Keaton and Chris had to remind me of his name. I just call him the mad scientist all the time. Well, he was in a fairway bunker, and it took him 3 times to get out.
No way.
He chunked it. He called it. He chunked it. And he didn't hit the lip. He just chunked it. And couldn't get out.
Wow.
Fairway bunker or greenside bunker. But anyway, he had a double or triple bogey on that hole. Ooh. So believe me, the greatest in the world can still.
Yeah.
That was a mental mistake. The first one's one thing, but to do it, another time and barely get it out. He barely got it out the third time. Anyway, so that was to your point. They still can hit some bad shots.
Yeah.
And some of those drivers, man, sometimes we don't appreciate it, but they're trying to work it right to left or left to right. So they're switching their hand. They're trying to do something a little special with it. And then it does not go well, right? They totally come off the ball or their hips are way out. And all of a sudden you see them hook it like one of my crazy hooks if I hit it really bad sometimes.
Yeah.
But anyway, it does warm your heart a little bit and say, yeah, there you go. Glad somebody else
we're all
that.
imperfect beings. Yeah.
So a little bit more about where McIlroy's up and down tournament. Again, if you can imagine being 6 strokes up, all you had to do is play decent Saturday. But he gave away the lead within the first few holes, 6 or 7 holes. And other players started playing great. It's like they were loose and playing for second. And they started charging up the leaderboard. And almost every one of them were all really the top golfers in the world. So these are guys are not going to fold probably, but some of them did, as it turned out. And so anyway, the final. Yeah.
If you're Rory McIlroy or anybody, are you watching the leaderboard to see if people are catching up to you?
Interesting. Mom asked that too yesterday. That was funny. Interesting. So normally for a great deal of golfers, they don't watch until, they know, but they don't watch it closely. Some of them don't like to see or know, especially the first 3 rounds. But in a final round, there's certain golfers, if they're 2 strokes behind, 3 strokes behind, and they've got a few holes to play, or on that given day they're 4 strokes behind, they go, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to do something special," which means I'm gonna have to take some risks, right?
Yeah.
Like going for two on a par 5. In other words, risking hitting it in the raised creek or hitting it in a pond. They've got to risk it to give a chance for an eagle, right?
I
Maybe
see.
can get. So
Yeah.
they do watch it for that. They need to know. Or if you're leading, you need to understand who's burning it up behind you. And do I play a little more conservatively, or do I need to keep the pedal to the metal?
I see.
If you stretch out and you're 3 strokes up with 4 holes to go, more than likely you'll play a little bit more conservatively if you're not Rory McIlroy. If you're like most golfers who have some sense in that area.
It does seem like it would mess with your mental game a little bit, though. You got to
I don't think most times they don't, especially the first 3 rounds. I'm almost certain there's not. But I think final round, you've got to take some things into consideration. But the one I wanted to go, the only thing I'd like to say is Scotty Scheffler. At the end of Friday, #1 golfer in the world, I love him. Scotty Scheffler was 12 strokes behind, 12 strokes. And he's the one that almost tied him. And he came in second, 11 under. Isn't that great? And that's really all I had on it. That's some of the crazy stuff. We talk about crazy Sergio Garcia, the old winner a long time ago, broke off his club. I know you had that. He got
I was
crazy.
I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah. So anyway, really, that's really what I had. That's all I really had. And it was a great tournament because Rory screwed up enough to let other golfers got so hot, and it became incredibly competitive again. And McIlroy won by 1 stroke again. So back to back next year, we're going to see if he can do it 3 times in a row.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Dad. And I'd love to dig in more, but Dad and I both have some time constraints today. So thank you for tuning in yet another week. Next week, we're going to get into probably a little bit of hockey, probably a little bit of basketball. So come on back if you're interested in that stuff. And until then.
And NFL drafts in 10 days. NFL drafts in 10 days. You know me. I got to get that out.
So we should talk about that a little bit.
We'll talk about that next week too. All right, man. Good luck.
Dad. Love you.
you.
Bye.
SportSense.